All right, how's everyone doing? I'm so sorry. I'm like half an hour late to this live stream because I was just playing like music and I just completely lost track of time. So I'm sorry everyone for being late. But Game Engine Series is back. We skipped last week, but we are now back. If the setup looks a little bit weird, it's because I took my tripod with me on my little vacation, my little holiday, and it's in like a I don't have it with me today is the point. So I'm using a different tripod and a different lens and everything. So it's a bit all over the place because I took some stuff from the office with me on the vacay. People say that. It's pretty lame. Sorry. But anyway, how's everyone doing? It's pretty exciting to be back. Had a really good time. Had quite a nice time away from you guys. You know, as you would expect. And now let's see if we can pick off where we left off. So, in fact, let me tweet this. Dommy, thank you for the Prime sub. 3 months. Appreciate the support. And Vague Lobster, thanks for saying hello and thanks for hoping that my vacation went well. It did. It was nice. It was fun. I want to kind of open up the roadmap. And see like what I kind of, because I remember I specifically wrote something for today. It's the 5th of December. So let's see what that is. Okay. So it looks like okay, so project system. Store project specific data and project file. I'm pretty sure this is all okay. Well, we didn't really do the UI last time. And today we were supposed to make a game before we switched to Vulkan. So basically, we either make a game today or we do some UI work for the project system. What do you guys think? People who are in the stream right now, you early birds, what do you think we should do? Because like, so we did initial project work last time. And that's on the projects branch. I mean, it makes sense that we like continue the project work, but Piggy Platypus would love to see some UI work. Children says a game. Vague Lobster doesn't mind either. So those are basically the three options. You either don't mind, or you want one, or you want the other. So good work, chat. Useful as always. I'm already getting a bit roasty. No, I'm kidding. I love you guys. Yeah, like we could, like the thing is though, realistically, I don't know about creating new projects using UI because that requires some, the problem with that isn't the UI, it's the creating new projects. Like to be able to create new projects kind of programmatically, we kind of need to like copy across existing files and like have a bit of a template maybe that we, you know, serialize onto disk or whatever when we actually decide that we want to create a new project. So, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of stuff involved there. Opening existing projects, I mean, we could probably do that realistically. Because the opening existing projects, like, we are already opening a project, right? Like, if we go to... Is this even... This is Hazel 2D, right? Yeah. If we go to our editor layer, then like, I'm pretty sure. Maury, thank you for the 2 months of subbing. Appreciate the support. And Zaro0405. Zaro, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for all the love and support. I appreciate it. Yeah, so like, you know, we already, I think over here inside, like, yeah, so we have open project. So new project does nothing, I believe. It does just project new, but that doesn't actually really do anything. Like it won't actually kind of create a new project. Open project obviously will though load a project and open a scene. So like that would probably take 2 seconds to just add. Good morning from Spain. Good morning. Good morning to you too. I guess we might as well like add that. So let's just have a quick look. at where we're at, like here. So file, and then we have new and open. So this is like new and open is really like, we should probably change this, because at the moment we've just got it called like new and open, but really this is like new scene, and this is like open scene, which I don't even know, like we probably realistically don't need this or don't want this anymore because we just drag it in, right? Because open scene, like why do we have that? I don't think we should have this anymore. Actually, this might not even work because I think open scene will try and, will it try and be relative to something? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of open scene. I don't think open scene should exist. New scene, sure. And then save as. Again, that's for scenes, which doesn't... I guess that makes sense, right? So save scene as even. I want to add that just so it's clear that this is for scenes. And then I think what I'll do is... Let's get rid of this garbage. Let's make like a open project. And that can be Control O. New scene, Control N, sure. I mean, save scene, like, should that save the project as well? Maybe. But, like, this open project should probably do open project, except open project takes a path in. Let's have a little version of this function without the path. And then what that's going to do is prompt for a path. So in the same way that I guess open scene did, so file dialogues open file, and then it will try and do that. So basically it's just file dialogues open file, Hazel project, which is like a .hproj, I believe. I guess we need to stick to this format. And then we do open project, and that's kind of it. Like, that's really quite easy. Quite simple. And then we'll add like an ImGUI separator just to make this look a little nicer. Just so we group like the scene stuff and the other stuff. Basically, we separate them. And so now I guess what we have... Let me just quickly get my little tool up. Alright, so basically file... can you guys see that? Is that big enough? No, I didn't mean that. Okay, so yeah, so we kind of have open project, and it's all kind of nicely separated here, and then we also have the scene stuff, and we could probably add a little separator there as well to kind of just keep that all looking nice. Okay, speaking of Control O though, we probably should make that do something. So at the moment, Control O will open scene, whereas I'm going to change that to do open project. If Control is obviously held. Whew. Yeah, there you go. Control O for open project. And we can go sandbox, project, sandbox. I mean, it's already open, so it's going to do nothing, but otherwise I'm presuming it would open the project. We could try not even load a project, but I don't know if that will work. Because at the moment, yeah, I'm pretty sure it'll crash. That's probably the other thing we actually wanted to fix. Because at the moment, you can see we've actually set like the command line argument like to be the project file. And I'm pretty sure that if we don't do this, then it just crashes. So like, let's try just for debug, just so I keep it around. Let's try remove that, and then let's run it. I think this will crash, which is obviously not what we want. But that's also because we can't really create like a new project. We could probably just start with an open project dialog. Maybe. Yeah, that's probably not a bad idea for now. Like obviously in the future, we probably will create like a new project or something. But like even Hazel Dev, sorry, Hazel, like Hazel Dev, Big Hazel. Like what does Big Hazel do? What does Big Hazel do if you don't open it with a project? Is that even possible? I genuinely don't know. Whatever. I don't care. Let's see. So let's go into, let's close all this, whoa, other garbage. What should we look at? Okay, so it's because of the content browser panel specifically. And I guess that's just because it has nothing to look at. Yeah, I mean, I think like this. See, the thing is, Content Browser Panel doesn't have a context. It just looks at the current project. But if there is no current project, it can't really do anything. So like, I don't know. I think maybe what we should do is we should just. Well, but the thing is, I'm pretty sure if we don't load a project, it makes a new one anyway. So what's the actual problem then? Is it just that that's empty or something? So base directory is empty because project get asset directory, get project directory, active project and project directory. So that's empty. I'm assuming that's empty. And then get project directory, asset directory. Well, this is all empty. So I guess if you try and do that, then game over. And current directory is base directory, but that's just empty anyway. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird state to be in, I think. I think it's kind of a weird state to be in when you're kind of like, when you don't really have a valid project set up. Okay, well then in that case, I think what we do I mean, this is a bit rude almost, but I think it's really probably the only way at this rate to do this. I think what we should do is basically, so you try and open a project. Well, yeah, it says prompt the user select a directory for a new project, and you could make a new project, but since we don't support that yet, we could basically do open project here. However, if file path is not empty, so if they cancel it, what we could do is this could be a bool. And let's just say return false, otherwise open project and return true. So what we can do is basically do like a little while not open project. Which again is very like rude, as I said. Because it literally won't let you do anything. But the thing is, you can't realistically do anything. So the idea here is that if I just like don't want to open something, if I hit cancel, you can see it's just not going to let me do anything. Now the reason why I say that's very rude is because what if someone wants to close the, like what we should do is we should make that probably terminate Hazel, because otherwise there's no way to actually close this at the moment. Like you literally can't close it. But if you do select a valid project, you can see it works. So instead of doing that, let's do maybe if open project is false, like we should basically terminate the program. And how do we do that? Well, we basically need to stop the application from running. So there's a run function, which obviously works on running. And then there is a close function. And here it is. So I think we can just do application, get application, or get, and then just close basically. So if you reject, if no project is opened, close hazelnut. This is while we don't have a new project workflow. Or path, I'll say. So that I think will just mean that if you yeah, it'll just close, see? So there you go. So now if you open it, you don't have a directory, it asks you to open a project. You either hit close, in which case it closes everything, or you open your project, in which case it opens everything and you can play. Okay? All right, chat, what are you guys saying? You're going to look into the issue with the engine crashing when editing the class name on a script component. Well, clever source, if you want me to, I will look at it. Also, the engine seems not to run in release mode at all. Ah, well that would be a problem. Let's try that. Hi, I got hacked and got banned from the Discord server because of scam messages. Is there any chance I can get unbanned? Whew. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm currently working on a Linux version of Hazel. No, but in all seriousness, Michael, I would speak to like the mods or the admin of the server because like I don't really deal with things like this. But yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard, you know, because how do we know if you're telling the truth? All right, so yes, I'm assuming this is because debugging probably can't be attached or whatever. Also, what else are people saying? Me, so Felix, currently working on a Linux version of Hazel. There's someone called Emily has done a Linux version of Big Hazel. I don't know what the situation is with, I guess, and I'm pretty sure there are some little branches of, branches of Little Hazel that are Linux as well. So I think there's people doing that. All right. What else was there? What if there is no project to load at all? Well, at the moment, you either, like, we don't have a path for a new project, so you either copy an existing project and modify it yourself, and obviously Hazel itself ships with a sandbox project. So that's kind of, that's how it works. For now, obviously, that's not, like, realistic. Usually you'd have, like, you probably have a launcher that would enable you to kind of create a new project. Hi Cherno, when did you start coding and which language did you ever first use? Also, what got you curious about coding? I'm trying to engage my 9-year-old, but don't want to start with C and coding in the terminal. Yeah, that would be rough. I started with Java because I was really interested in like Minecraft. I was probably like 16 maybe? 16? I think I was like 16, yeah. And I just, like, I don't know, Minecraft was just fascinating to me, and I really wanted to make something like it, I guess. And so I started with Java, and then I kind of slowly, like years later, only switched to C++ really switched to C++ only when I started working at EA on the core, like, engine team. And obviously they use C++ most of the time. So I kind of almost, like, I knew a bit of C++ from university before I started working at EA, but it was the job that really, like, threw me into the deep end, and I had to quickly learn C++ and actually, like, you know, to a more or less professional level. So I would say, like, I don't know, like a 9-year-old, like, I don't know, because I started programming when I was 15, so I don't know. But I definitely would not go with, I probably wouldn't go with C or C++. Even, like, I don't know, like Python, you know, Java, C# with Unity is probably a nice kind of thing, because Unity is like, you know, Unity is kind of like a little bit of, it lets you visually do things, and it lets you tie code in with visual elements, which could be, I mean, definitely a difficult concept, I think, to understand for a 9-year-old, maybe, but it would kind of at least, you know, not be fully from scratch. Speaking of which, something like Scratch might be good. Because, like, if you kind of want, there's tons of, like, the thing is, there's tons of little programming kind of logic. There's tons of, like, different exercises that you can use to start introducing, like, logical thinking and the kind of whole flow of programming as well, without even going into a programming language. So maybe consider those. I don't know what's going to happen if my, like, daughter is interested in programming, for example, and what I would do, because I'm secretly hoping she, like, just won't be interested in programming and, like, can do something else. But yeah, I don't know. All right, start with assembly. Yeah, that's great advice. Are we getting any more Mindfront episodes? Oh man, it'd be funny if I came back with that. Sorry guys, we're ditching the Game Engine series. We're going back to Mindfront. For those of you who know what that is, then well done. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, again, like a 9-year-old, like, I don't know. I haven't really taught. Well, no, actually, you know what I will say? Trash. You know what I will say? I will say that when I like about 8 years ago or so, I started tutoring people. So I started like doing like private tutoring like over the internet. And I actually had 2 students, which funnily enough, I've still got them today. Like I still do a bit of private tutoring. I don't really advertise it because I just don't have time for it. But like, so I don't do too much of it. But those 2 students that I started teaching, they were 11 years old, both of them. And I started with teaching them Java. And making like a little text adventure in Java, like just teaching them about obviously variables and just like, you know, how can we respond to like text input and how can we like build some basic logic. And yeah, they were both 11. And like, yeah, that went well, I guess. You know, they're like, 19, 20 now. They're both in university studying computer science. One of them has a job at like, I think Roblox now. He got like an internship at Roblox. So like, you know, that went well in terms of like, yeah, they're like 11 seems like very early, but I don't know. I did it and they did seem to learn pretty well. So maybe you don't have to be 14, 15, but yeah, 9, I don't know. 9 might be too young. I don't know. All right. Yeah, like the Unity equals C#, which is basically Java. My point more so was that, like with Java, you're kind of on your own, whereas with Unity, obviously, with Unity and C#, you have the whole Unity aspect to it. Like you have a visual editor that lets you like position things in the world, drag and drop things. So it's not like 100% programming. Whereas if you started making like a game in Java, that's like basically 100% programming, right? So you have to build everything yourself. And that obviously is going to be harder than say like, you know, drawing something in Paint, dragging it into Unity's editor, dragging it onto the scene, seeing it visually, and then tying that to code. So that's kind of my point. All right, anyway, we probably should get on with this. So, but yeah, like always good to talk to you, chat. Like, don't take this the wrong way. It's you, it's me, it's not, it's you, it's me. It's me, it's me, it's not you. All right, so, yeah, I mean, I think this is probably just because debugging is enabled. So what we can probably do, like, look, I mean, debugging probably should never be enabled. Like debugging, I think, is only valid if you're in debug mode. So what we potentially could do is just set debugging to false. Like if we're not in, debug, and I believe we have a macro, we have a define. We're a preprocessor. So we have a define called hzdebug. So it's pretty easy for us to just basically be like if ndef, or if def, you know, hzdebug, then we can do that. Else, you know, we could just do that. You could also do it, like some people like to do it like this, which is weird, a bit weird. Like you could you could do that. The other option is, I mean, can you do something like that? I was going to say, if that's defined to be a macro, because does that evaluate to, oh, no, hang on. I was going to just, no, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because that only works with if. Because the other thing you could do is if this was actually defined to be a value, like 1 or 0, then you could just do that. But it's not for us. And the way that would work, by the way, would be, you know, where we define hzdebug, which actually is in here. So we have a define called hzdebug. You can actually set it like equal to 1, for example, and then that means that it's instead of like if def, we'd use if, and instead of And we could also just use the macro directly, like for booleans like that, which could be kind of interesting. But like, I'm probably not going to bother with that. Because again, there's fundamentally no difference. You can achieve the same. It's just more about what the code looks like. So I think what I'll do instead is probably just like do what I did before. Alternatively, you could leave this like at true or at false, and then on init, you could almost validate that state by just being like as data dot, you know, enable debugging true. Obviously after you create as data, but you get the point. That's also like an option, right? And that should work. Oh, it's not else and if. And again, like fundamentally, you know, there's not going to be any difference. Like you could argue, yes, this is an extra set potentially that happens later. I'm sure the compiler will probably sort that out for you. But yeah, I'm probably going to just leave it at that maybe. So let's see if that works. All right, and that's release mode fixed. Okay, what was the other bug? Also, someone asked, Zaro asked, any plans to do a Unity Hub style project manager for the game? Yeah, I think we will probably do something like that, but way towards the end. Because the thing is, like, if you think about it, like, the problem with project managers for game engines is that you don't really use them that often. Like, if you're, like, for something like Unity, of course, it's very important, but, like, if you're making a game engine, it's not like you're working on like 5 different games and always wanting to create new projects. Like it might be useful if you just want to test something out quickly. So give me a new project button so I can just create a blank workspace, test something and then delete it. But in general, like, you know, how do teams work? It's kind of like why Frostbite didn't really have a new project UI workflow whatsoever for like years, if not decades, because like, you know, if you think about it, how often does a team embark on a new game? You know, like, it takes years to make a game. So you're not just making, and Frostbite was not really used for prototyping, so you're not just making, you know, one after the other. So it's kind of like, that's kind of like my feelings that I guess here as well. It's just like, it's kind of just like, yeah, like we could waste time essentially making like a hub or some kind of like launcher, you know, for all of this stuff. However, you know, how often are we going to hit that new button or open all these different projects, you know, when realistically, like making a new project, sure, let's just copy the files, we'll modify it, we'll make a new project. And then of course, open project is useful because you can download other people's projects from the internet, or maybe you've got a few of your own, but like, yeah, all that kind of new project workflow is just, it's kind of like a, you know, it's not good value in the sense that like it requires quite a lot of work, but the result is not really that worth it. That's all. All right, anyway. Yeah, okay, let's, so yeah, I don't think we're gonna, we can probably chat about making a new game eventually, but I think this is turning into more of like a bug fixing episode because there was something else that needed to be done. Oh, and I gotta upload these videos. Oh, I've been so bad with that. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't uploaded any of these. I'm recording all of these episodes, don't worry, but I just don't upload them to the YouTube channel because I've been so busy. But I will definitely try and do that this week. I promise. All right, let's just quickly see. What was that other thing? Oh yeah, Clevi. So Clevisource also said, are you going to look into the issue with the engine crashing when editing the class name on a script component? Okay, I wasn't really aware of that. So if I open up, I guess like the player, and then here's a script component. So if I edit this name, oh, crashes. Okay, sure. Well, yeah, because I mean, this is probably going to be false now. Yeah, that shouldn't be true. Oh. Oh, that's funny. So it actually gets edited here. Right. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay. I guess that's probably okay. We just need to do a little check again, but only after we actually, yeah, component class name, after that gets set. Yeah, that's kind of funny. So we just have to recheck it. And we want to initially do it just so we color it as well. The other option, by the way, guys, like, maybe I should do that. So the other option, by the way, instead of doing this, is we could just be like, oh, the class name has been edited, so let's like return. So we skip the rest of this function because it's changed, and then we go back up. That's probably a better solution, to be honest, because this is obviously happening every frame. Probably a better solution than reevaluating everything that same frame. It's not going to make too much of a difference. But yeah, so there you go. You can see it all disappears. Oh, okay, now we get an error if we try and... Oh, okay, that's my bad though. We have to, if we return like that, we have to pop the window maybe. But wait, actually, do we? So that equals that. Oh, the push style color. Okay. And then we try and pop that. Yeah, okay. So let's grab this. Yeah, this is where it would be nice, to be honest, to have some kind of like, let's make a little class in a minute that will help us with this, because this is where, like, you know, the whole RAII and like C++ is kind of, you know, stack-based lifetimes, whatever you want to call it, is actually really useful, because you can see we have this problem here where we basically conditionally push a style color, and the problem is if this guy does get pushed, we can't just return from the function because we need to pop it. And we kind of get this really annoying thing of like, okay, so now we need to basically, every time we want to return from this, we basically need to add this code in. And it's worse because it's like predicated on this. And you can see that like this exact block of code appears here as well, right? Like there's two places, and that's just really annoying. And it's just because you have to keep track of it. Otherwise you'll get that little crash. And of course that will work, right? Like if I try that again, that little test I had, which is basically, you know, us looking at player, removing it, and then adding it, you can see that now works and we don't crash and everything runs and everything's great. But it's just really annoying, like from a code point of view. So what we can do is we can take advantage of C++'s kind of stack situation. And what we can do is, do we have like an I'm GUI? I mean, we've got some like I'm GUI layer stuff. Like, where's the stuff? I'm GUI. Okay, sure. I'm just gonna, I don't really want to do it here. I'll add a folder called UI. This is gonna be a bit annoying because this is mostly gonna be utilities. But this is gonna be like a bit of a UI superclass, which is just gonna have like, and it's not a class at all actually. It's more of a file. It's a file. But basically, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to create. If I can type the word namespace. Then I'm going to create you can see I've been on holidays because I've not touched a keyboard in like a week. And to make matters worse, that's not even right. So I'm gonna make like a class here, I guess, called scoped. What is that? And actually all this stuff is gonna be in UI as well. So scope style color, right? So what does this take in? This takes in I'm GUI color index. I mean, we can make this a struct. IDX. I'll keep it the same as I'm GUI. And I'm GUI is a C library, obviously. This is part of the reason why they don't have this. So they've got two options here. I'm vec4 and I am u32. So we'll be faithful to that. And then all this is going to do is basically this, right? And the magic happens when in the destructor we call pop. And that's it. Now, one reason why you might not want to do this is because pop doesn't necessarily need to be called individually. Pop actually takes in account. And you can actually just like recursively kind of pop. It's really not a big deal though. I think it's fine. The other thing is it might be predicated on something, right? So what that means is like you might have a predicate and you can like, you know, you can make like a predicated kind of version of it potentially, which can have like a predicate. And then the idea is obviously it only does that if that's true. And then I guess you kind of have to more or less store that. So that you know whether or not to do this or not. Right, so that's like another possible version of this. Just wondering if there's a better way to do that. Yeah, probably actually. I mean, if this is like what, yeah. So you can, but that's a bit annoying as well, isn't it? Because I was going to say, like the other, like what you could do potentially is you could have a default version that takes no parameters in. And then you could actually, instead of this doing that, what you could do, let's just duplicate that real quick. What you could do is you could actually get that to have a scoped color itself, but it's either based on the predicate though, it's either empty. So if it's predicated, then it, like if that predicate kind of works, then you set this to be that, right? With the difference being the fact that you actually don't need this at all. Because you could make it that if, so if we, maybe I will do it that way. You could make it so that if, so this does nothing, but the thing is you still need something like set. And the idea is like this constructor obviously like sets it, you know. Whereas these two leave it off. And then... yeah. And you can't really do anything clever here, I don't think, with templates. Because... obviously none of this is compile time. So... I think something like that probably isn't bad. And then obviously, yeah, you only pop if it's set. So that's kind of how it works. And so you have this predicated version specifically that will do this. Right? I mean, you could just add the predicate to here as an optional thing. Like maybe that would be better, you know, instead of creating a whole additional class. So if you just do predicate here, you do that. You do that. Yeah, but you'll need two of them. Or actually, add it last. Set it to true by default. Add that in. And that. and then you lose this. That's probably what I think what I would do in the end. There are ways to defer a lambda function to the end of a scope. What is this? What the heck is this? No, well, of course, yeah, of course there's a way to just define, like, defer something to the end of the scope if you just add it, like, essentially into here. And of course you could make this generic to the point where it just takes in a lambda or a function, and then you could just arbitrarily call anything you want here. But this is just a little bit neater than that. Because all you have to do is, so basically this whole thing just becomes, this whole thing just becomes like UI scope style color. We can call this like text color. This. And we just add the predicate, which is actually not script class exists. And that's it. Right? And that's it. So I don't think you're going to get any cleaner than that. Yeah, and then so obviously you don't need this, and you also don't need, where was it? This. And that's it. Or maybe that wasn't it. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't know why it didn't like my initial thing. Yeah, it's weird. Actually, no, that should be fine. All right, so yeah, so you can see that's working. That whole thing, by the way, was just so that basically this goes red when that doesn't exist, and then if it does exist, it's obviously just like white and normal. But yeah, Visual Studio does not know what's going on there. But yeah. And so all you have to do is add this one line in, and you can return early, and everything's fine because that will just pop automatically, and I think that's good. All right. Yeah. So that should be that. I think let's like maybe do a commit because we did fix a bunch of stuff. So we fixed it not working in. Yeah, we fixed it not working in release mode. This stuff is okay, so that's nothing. We fixed the crash with that, and we also fixed it crashing if we don't. So like fixed. I'll just do plus more. Is that it? Oh yeah, added. It's a struct, but we'll call it. Oh yeah, why is that a struct? I guess it doesn't matter. Whatever. All right, cool. Why do you write fixed over fix? Well, I like to. I don't know. I think it's That's just my style, I guess. I don't like to say fix or add because, like, what did I do? I fixed this thing, you know? Like, fix almost sounds like you're doing it currently. Again, it's just a stylistic thing. It's really not a big deal. Okay. Now, we could talk about game ideas or we could end the stream. Both are very tempting. Because basically our next step, so, I mean, if we look at the roadmap, like, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, we can do that. This is probably deferred for now. So that's basically done. So the next real thing is we have to start making our little game. So the idea with this is just that we basically want to make a little game using the technology we have now so that we can both develop it a bit further, specifically the C# scripting side of things. So at the moment we have a fairly capable C# setup, right? Like we can script the game pretty much entirely using our current setup in C#, but it's just missing like a lot of API stuff. So we want to basically take like the API and develop it like a lot further than obviously it is at the moment. And a good way to do that is actually to make something because it forces us to kind of add those features. We also want to just make sure that any other features in the game engine, like, it's just a good kind of way to test it because the problem is at the moment our existing tests are very bland and they're very basic, and it would be good to stress the engine a little bit and just give it some work to do as well as try and use most of the features available in it. So that needs to be done. And like flipbook animation, for example, someone's saying needs to be implemented. We basically have that. So like because obviously Boulder Dash, I think, was animated when we made that years ago. So we've definitely got that. Like, but stuff like that does need to be kind of, you know, like it's a good idea to kind of try and make something so that we can just make sure that those features both work from like a QA standpoint, but then also, you know, maybe add some more stuff, and then we'll switch to Vulkan, right? And before we switch to Vulkan, it would just be nice to have something working, right? So yeah, like a simple platformer is kind of like what I'm thinking of doing. If we just have like, you know, it's me. I'm the character, Cherno, the platformer. Like if we have like some kind of platformer, like that's kind of what I was thinking of doing. Just because, like, yeah, I don't know why. I think a platformer and potentially, like, you know, we could add some elements, like, in the background. It could be all, like, kind of, you know, parallaxed and nice, kind of. Because the thing is, this is, like, a 2D engine in 3D space. And because of that, we could really take advantage of the 3D space, I think. That would be good. Angry Birds clone. That's kind of a cool idea, to be honest. Like some kind of, because we've obviously got physics in the game. I think like overall, like it would be good to basically have like physics. I want it to be more kind of physics based. It doesn't have to be physics based, meaning you need to, like, physics are required for you to like beat the game. In other words, like, you know, it's not like, it doesn't have to be entirely like physics based, meaning it's 99% about the physics. But I think that physics should definitely feature in it. Like it should be a strong feature of the game because we do have a physics engine, and that's just a really easy way to kind of make something work. Bridge building game, yeah. What's that like armadillo game? Is it called Armadillo? That was like I remember playing that in like high school. Is it called Armadillo? I think. Have you guys heard of a game called Armadillo? Is that a thing? And you kind of have to like build structures, and like I guess the armadillo rolls down them. I remember that game. I'm pretty sure it's called Armadillo Run, actually. Armadillo Run. I have no idea how to spell armadillo, maybe like that. But Armadillo Run, I believe, is the name of that game. I should just Google it. But yeah, we could, like, because that's a physics-based game. That's kind of tough though, because it's got like like actual forces and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know, bridge building, getting over it. That's a funny game. Yeah, like something. Yeah, it could be anything really. Mario clone. Yeah, like a Mario clone is not something. I don't know. I don't really want to make a Mario clone. I just feel like it's very boring. And like a Mario clone, like what does that, require? That requires like, I would say, decent art and good level design. And like I don't really want to be doing that. Like, yeah, I would like probably some nice art, but I definitely don't want to spend too much time on level design because obviously like the purpose of this is more or less a test. Yeah. Don't know. Those are the ideas. Oh, look, some mountains. That's why I tried to draw here, by the way. These are my mountains, and these are not my mountains. What else? Yeah, someone said, Clevy said you could implement some API this stream. I'm probably not going to do that because I don't even know what API to implement. Like I want us to like start building the game and then we'll just implement stuff along the way. MMO rocket propelled grenade. Beautiful. That's what an MMORPG is. Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a cool idea, to be honest. Like, almost like a bridge building game or whatever. Maybe like, so what, is this going to be a puzzle game? Where you get from point A, like, to point B. And then, like, you have to build stuff to make that happen. Like, you can... Because, like, Armadillo Run, like, let me see if I can find that. Yeah, it's definitely a thing. Physics-based... Oh, my gosh. This is a blast from the past. Guys, I remember playing this when I was, like, 14. If not 13. When was the initial release? So version 2 available for beta testing 2009. So yeah, I was 14 in 2009, right? Something like that. Yeah, like mostly 14. 10, 15 at the end of the year. Buy Armadillo Run. Download demo. Let's play this game, guys. Oh, you have to install it. Damn. This has an installer. That's how you know it's old. But this is like the demo. Oh my gosh, guys, you have no idea the nostalgia. Can you guys even see that? Yeah, you can. Let me just turn the music off. Does it have sound? Yeah, it has to. Oh man. All right. Instructions. What a page, guy. What a page. That's hilarious. Yeah, you guys know the game's deep when you press on the instructions and it's like this. Damn. Objective. Armadillo is lost. It feels like reading new documentation. That's funny. Armadillo has lost another dimension. Help it return home by guiding it through a series of interdimensional portals. Each level requires you to build some kind of structure to guide Armadillo to the portal. And the sound of the rockets always, so nostalgic. There are various types of building materials you can use, each having its own properties. Choose your materials wisely. You have a limited budget. There's like some no budget mode that I'm pretty sure everyone used to play. Oh yes, graphics quality. Level background, default view. Oh yeah, there's like a side view and a free view. Alright, enough fooling around. Let's jump in. So basically, like you have to get the Armadillo to the portal, the blue area is, you need to build some kind of structure. Start simulation, press start. So there's a little star. I mean, this almost looks like some kind of tool, you know? And there's like this tracking view and and that's right. You could be the armadillo. It's like you can be first person. I forgot about that. Okay, guys, we're definitely playing through this entire game right now, by the way. I don't know what you guys like expected from this live stream, but right now we're playing through this whole demo. I guess I can put the music back on. It's kind of loud. Okay. Components of a structure are called links, which are just straight sections of a material between two endpoints. Links obey the laws of physics. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure we just like start this and we see what happens. Yeah, and stuff can break, which is cool. That's kind of cool. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that we don't really need to do anything. Metal sheets. Okay, so we basically need a make a little metal sheet. That's it. And let's be the armadillo. Well, we didn't fall off. That's good. Excellent. Metal bars. Metal bars can be used to give support. Yeah, so I'm guessing this will just break, as you can see. So we need to, like, add a little bar. And now we're rigid. Change mouse function. Wow. Interesting. Oh yeah, and you can show and hide the forces, which is really cool. So you can see how much stress stuff is under. And yeah, there's cloth as well, which will just kind of sag down. Oh, whoops. Yeah, this is like side view, which is basically like kind of almost 2D looking. Then there's like free, which like I guess means that you can rotate this. 3D. The thing is, we almost could make this in Hazel 2D because like this almost is 2D in the sense that like we can obviously rotate the camera, and if it's a perspective camera and everything, even if it's not a perspective camera, it's fine. It will look 3D. The only problem is like we don't have 3D meshes. And like the physics here is more or less 2D. I don't actually think there's any 3D physics in here. Oh, there's even timers. Structure, tension, timers. I'm telling you, this gets like wild. So here, rope is a useful material to provide support and has the advantage of being cheap. So like metal bars used at the edges of the structure, make 3 rope links from the high anchor point to the middle 3 nodes to hold up the metal sheets. So they want us to use rope like so. And that's gonna, I guess, hold that perfectly. Make a 2D version of this. Well, that's kind of almost what I kind of want to do. Worms. Oh, worms would be cool. I love worms. Oh, and then this is like some kind of tension thing. I don't know exactly how that works. Oh, yeah. I think you can just set the tension of it. Oh, here it is. Tension. So if you set this, so you can set the tension. And that will obviously, as you can see, push it like that. And there you go. This is all the tutorial stuff. So length can be set to break after a certain amount of time. Yeah, this is really cool as well. By using time edit mode. So basically, like we want, what do we want? We kind of want, use the time mode to metal bars that are holding back the compressed rubber. What compressed rubber? So the rubber pushes the metal sheet. There is no compressed rubber. Oh, there it is. It was highlighted. Oh, so that's going to make me jump is the point. So basically, if we set a 3-second timer, how does that work? Use the timer edit mode to set a 3-second timer on the metal bars so the rubber pushes the metal sheet. Oh, here. Ah. Okay. Sure. You should check out Polybridge as well, very similar to this. What came out first? Polybridge or this? I don't know. I have no idea. Editing tips. To move nodes or links, Left click and drag them while holding out shift to move. Right. Oh. What? You can make your own? Oh. Huh. Well, that's probably just gonna fall, right? Will some rope work? Because rope is cheap. That's why we like it. Yeah, Worms is a really cool game. $200 is the budget. Alright. Well, let's see. What should we do? Probably gonna need some metal bars. Well, we can use rope for probably this. How do I delete stuff? There you go. Get some money back. Metal sheet. Well, cloth is definitely cheaper. So I think that's probably a good idea. And then would rope be enough to hold this? Oh! Oh, come on. What's that like tension thing? We're not allowed to use that apparently. That sucks. What if we give it a little push? I don't know if that was worth it, like in terms of money. 86. Can we beat that? So how much was this guy? Like 20 bucks. We probably couldn't beat that for less, could we? How much is cloth? 4. Well, it's pretty long there though. Metal bar. But like a metal bar would have been more, right? Well. Because if that could push us. But that's already the same. And that's, oops, I meant metal. Yeah, that's probably more expensive. Alright, so let's go back to... Because rope is just nice and cheap. What if we use cloth for this though? That probably wouldn't work, would it? Because I guess that's the other possibility. That's 78. That's actually more expensive. Really? 86? What? Oh, because a metal sheet is 20 bucks for the whole sheet. Right? Whereas the cloth dramatically increase. Oh, okay. So 106 versus... Yeah, 110. So it's just cheaper to use cloth. It's funny though. I'll push and we're good. A gentle start. Okay, so here we go. We have to beat this game now. Now we've gone through the tutorial. All right, what do you guys reckon? Sorted. Well, to be honest though, that's kind of expensive. Like $12 is what we have left. Like, if I did this though, we'd have $20 left, see? And in fact, $30 left. Because I don't think I need that section. Okay, I do. But not if I do that. That's dumb. Yeah, 10 bucks. So 10 bucks. I love my little trick. But 10 bucks versus 20 bucks. Yeah, so that's better. Let's be the armadillo. I just like the fact that this armadillo is just a basketball, basically. But it's like an armadillo. It's funny. Good work. Creative people who made this. Mind the gap. Alright. What do we do here? How much do I have? $200. Well, like... Is that bad? Yes. I mean, I can't really do cloth. Yeah, well, I guess like the boring solution would be to just add like some reinforcement. $70. Can we skip some of these guys? Now there is that tension view, right? Where was that? Oh, no, we're not allowed to view that. Maybe that's okay, that's necessary. Maybe we can skip that one. That's funny. Lemmings? Yeah, Lemmings is a cool kind of game, I guess. To take inspiration from Void. Okay, so this can be really anything you want it to be. In that case, the timers cost money. Wait, timers cost $200? Oh my gosh. That's our whole budget. Oh wow. So what's more expensive? So that's gonna be 40 with 80 left versus same. So that's actually the same price. Are you joking? Nope. Alright, do we do the Cherno trick? Oh, look at that. And it comes here. Oh no. Did that bounce off? What happened? Whatever. Yeah, I guess that's just very bouncy. Well, it's the same price for a metal sheet. But it pushes it out. But that's probably not great either. Like, will that work? I'll be sticking out a little bit. No, it's not gonna work. But we do need something at the end. Oh, well actually, why don't we just make this cloth? If we make that cloth and then we just hold it up, then I'll be stuck in the cloth. In fact, do I even need this? Probably, there's too much momentum, I think. Oh, just too much. I think if you put this at the right angle, it actually might be. Oh, no. Alright, fine. Let's just do it. Oh, is that slow motion? Oh, wow. Okay, so we have to stop this train. Can't we just do that? Oh, but we're not allowed to. Nice. It's not gonna let me in, is it? Oof. That's pretty good. Drop. Get something to break our fall. That's all you need. Last one. Void 2. Well, I don't see why we don't do what we did last time. That's not bad. Oof. Most boring solutions. Am I right? We might need to use metal bars. Damn, $10. Running out of cash. Well, I guess the problem is more that one, isn't it? Minus 10. $0. We can end on 0. And we did it. We beat the demo. And this is a little... Oh, that's cool. This is a little demo of the full version. That's kind of cool. Got the weight here. All right. That's... Oh, that's cool. Little timer. That's gonna shoot me up. Hey. Buy Armadillo Run so you can play 50 challenging levels. Create your own levels. Download and play new levels made by other people. There's no other game quite like it. Not even an exclamation mark. There you go. That's the game. So much fun. Oh yeah, rockets. There's no rockets in the demo. That's a bit sad. Alright, well that was fun. OpenGL. How much does this guy cost? 31 Australian dollars. Tempting. I've probably got like a cracked version somewhere. Alright, anyway, yeah, so we might make like a little physics-based puzzle game where you build stuff. Kind of like what we just saw. I think that'd be kind of fun. So that's kind of like the plan. How long will it take to make it? I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to probably budget like maybe 1 to 2 months on it or something. And it's obviously going to be very simple. Like, we're going to have to make it simple. I'm going to spend like the next 3 years working on a little test game for Hazel 2D. So, yeah, we're probably going to do probably 1 to 2 months, I think. And that's obviously based on these live streams happening like once a week for like a few hours. But yeah. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the Game Engine series, this live stream. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like button. Very tempting, I know. Please do it. Helps the series out and makes me happy. So, you know, it's good. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.